Dzień dobry, YouTube. Witamy to another episode of Atticus Eats. My dear friends, we are definitely going to be getting our Polish on today. It is so wonderful to be able to be here with you all and be able to take you guys to a newer to me location. This is, however, not the first time that I have come to said location. So, many moons ago, there was something called Dog Haus that was in Burbank, California, where we filmed the show. And on occasion, they would order that as like a second meal for dinner time on set. And it was one of those things where everybody and their mother was all crazy about it, and I wasn't. It seemed like a little bit of a trend thing. And you guys know, I love the meat, I love the hot dogs, I love the bread and the cheese and the sauerkraut and all the things, right? So again, I do know a good, like, Frankfurter hot dog, I know all that stuff and consume them, but that wasn't impressive to me. Well, fast forward, Mom and I, when we go out running errands, we come to this location here sometimes, and this particular Dog Haus, which I'm taking you all to today, this has been under construction since COVID. And it was one of those things where, in this strip mall over here, used to be a Sizzlers, COVID put it in the ground, and then they were advertising signs for the Dog Haus, and then all of a sudden construction just stopped for like years. And then we come back earlier this year, and we see that construction on it had resumed. And it definitely seems like a rebrand. It actually seems much more like personal instead of a chain restaurant, which I really like. Very clean in there, very nice aesthetic. And I think Mom and I, we actually came to this location on their opening day. We might have been maybe the third customer there for the day. Or it was the grand opening weekend, but we were one of the early customers for the day. They didn't even have all of the menu items in stock, even though they had them listed and whatever. But the thing that they did have in stock, which tickled me pink, was what they call their reservoir hog, which is Polska kielbasa with their Haus chili and a couple other things that make it tasty and delicious. My dear friends, when I had it then, it was outstanding. I had it on a hoagie roll. But for today, because I wanted to try something different, and you guys know that I like my Polska kielbasa that my mama makes in a bowl, I have brought to you today Polska kielbasa, or the reservoir hog, in their bowl form, which is where it's resting on a bed of greens with all of the other ingredients, including yellow mustard and mayo. I am only marginally impressed. Oh, they've got their Haus slaw, too. Let me see if I can show that. Yes. So I'm only marginally impressed because it's shredded lettuce. Oh, no, it's not. It's not fully and completely. They've actually got arugula and a bunch of other stuff in there. Okay, maybe I should look first before I comment instead of trying to look through my viewfinder. No, you guys, this actually looks promising. So we've got the sausage in there. We've got all the bells and whistles. We do have the chili, which I also thought was a wonderful addition because, again, it's autumn, October this month. We've experienced a lot of chili together, or actually rather this season, September going into October. And so I'm really excited to try this. I'm happy that it's more than just shredded lettuce that it's sitting on a bed of. I think that that's really good. I've also procured a Minute Maid lemonade for a beverages, because I do not drink, so I wanted something that was just cool and refreshing. Oh, that's interesting. They lightened this fork by taking the center out of it. Interesting. Nezdrovia, cool people. Now, here's the other thing, too. Good. They did cut up the Polska kielbasa into chunks. They are cultured here. It's official. Let's go ahead and get a stab of this. Not much by way of the main ingredients. Now, what was really cool is that this place has breakfast... Oh, thank you, lettuce. This place has breakfast burritos, so we may have to come back and try one of them. Their other menu item that I really love are the Haus tots, I think is what they're called. tater tots covered in bacon, ranch, and a sriracha mayo. Or, no, it's just like a chipotle aioli sauce with green onion. Mom and I had it, and it was life-giving. And there was cheese on it, too. But anyway, we're here now. Nezdrovia. Mm-hmm. They do the Polska kielbasa right. Not nearly as good as Mama Debbie. But, for a close second to get on demand, I really like the Dog Haus Polska kielbasa. Cooked through perfectly. It's got this really good texture to it that has a nice snap. It's a nice satisfying snap on the outside, but it's not burnt. And then you've got that nice, tender, cooked, savory sausage in the center. It's oh so good. Now their chili is definitely a step up. Their chili is really, really excellent. And I mean, imagine this. We're having a chili salad with mustard, if you think about it. So we're really healthy. With their coleslaw to help you poop. Really, really good. It's a hearty chili. It's a very meaty chili. It's chili that's meant to go on a hot dog, right? More of a paste, not runny, not super chunky, which I really like. But the flavor is very on point. Very spicy, though. If you've got a spice intolerance, it's not for you. If this is healthy eating, sign me up. I'll take it gladly. Nezdrovia. Yeah, very, very impressed with the Dog Haus. Only problem is this. This, with a drink. Not a specialty drink, a fountain drink. $18 and change. That part of it is insane. One could argue it's worth it because it really does taste good. It's an experience. And if you're wanting to get quality food, unfortunately you have to pay for it. Especially here in California. But, be that as it may, it was definitely worth it today, especially because I get to hang out with you guys. Now, thing is though, if you want me to come back here so I can try some of the other menu items, which I would gladly do, a breakfast burrito and then show you that other appetizer, please purchase a Cameo for me in the link in the description box below. It supports the work that I do here on my channel, and I'd love to make your special celebration extra special. Shameless plug. All the greens are really fresh too. They don't taste like fridge or anything like that. Very crisp, cool, and fresh tasting. It's really good. It was so funny in there too. While I was waiting for them to make my food, and the staff in there are incredibly nice. While I was waiting for them to make my food, I was looking through the YouTube comments for last week's video, and there was one person who commented, "I hear you always greet in a Polish greeting. Here's the real Polish test for you. How many bottles of mustard are currently open in your fridge right now?" And I was proud to say, at least 4. I think I passed. You guys, when you have something that is resting on a bed of leafy greens, and you're eating said leafy greens, and you cannot help but make euphoric yummy sounds, I dare say they've done something right. Very much so. And look, I have a little bit of mustard on my fist from evidence. Ooh, white balance. Ew. I'll take my, oh here. Take my word for it, it's right there. And now it's not. Alright. Guys. That was absolutely outstanding. I am such a fan of the way that they do Polska kielbasa sausage here at the Dog Haus. And the flavor combination for the reservoir hog, where, especially in bowl form, again, what was interesting, and this was the one critique that my mom and I had, what was unfortunate was when my mom and I came here the first time, they made my mom's food wrong, and then they had to remake it, and when they did, it was like it was a rush job, and so it wasn't as good as it could be. The other thing, too, my mom and I both were not big fans of their buns. My hoagie roll was particularly dry, and then Mom's Hawaiian roll bun that they were using was like too sweet. And I bet you if we had switched buns, it would have been better, right? If she had gotten the inverse of what I had. She might have liked it more, but yeah, it was just, that was the weird element of it. Now knowing that they can do bowls with their hot dogs, especially with that one, I absolutely adored it. What I really liked too is that the way that they had it, they still gave me plenty of chili, they gave me plenty of mustard, and there's a little bit of a sauce on the house slaw, and it's not drenched. It's not drenched at all, and yet it's still very satisfying, and I get the different flavor combination. That was more than enough food for me. I left some of the leafy greens in there because they gave a lot, actually, and especially for a to-go order, usually they skimp, like meaning restaurants will skimp on to-go orders, I found. And the fact that they didn't, man, and they were just full-fledged, yes, we want to provide you with food that you paid for, that was really, really good. I am incredibly, incredibly satisfied. Very tasty and delicious food. And again, it's so hard for me to justify the cost. I think that's the only thing that really gets me. Now, the benefit is that Mom and I eat at home for the most part during the rest of the week. We really only get a treat out maybe once or twice a week, and it's only one meal, or maybe like a cup of coffee from Starbucks or something, right? And so, if I'm mentally saying this is a treat, especially in this setting where it's with friends and we get to all hang out and fellowship with each other, yes, that's 100% worth it. That's awesome. But the problem, I feel, and again, this may not be Dog Haus's objective, but it used to be in small town life that you would have the local diner. And the reason why the local diner can stay open is because they are able to cater to the food needs of their community. And if people want to go there for breakfast every day or go there for lunch every day on their lunch break, they're able to afford that, right? And this is the thing that I feel is so wrong with restaurants, is there isn't really a mindset of catering to the community. They're catering to the treat night of the community. But then again, as my mom and I will often discuss, we don't think many people cook at home anymore, especially out here. And be that as it may, you know, maybe they're able to monopolize that price a little bit because of other people's necessity. So, I don't know. But, long and the short of it, it's hard for me to say anything is worth the money. But if I had to pay to get an experience like that, I'm very happy with the experience that I got. Especially because I get to share with you guys, and that's a treat. That's very special. So, super, super grateful for that. Super grateful for the experience. It's always awesome. But my dear friends, as I mentioned earlier, link to my Cameo page is in the description bar box below. Also, please be sure to check out the link to my Twitch channel, where I go live 3 days a week, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's an amazing, amazing space for Christ-centered community and fellowship. If you are interested in that and you want to just be kind and have a nice group of people to hang out with 3 days a week, please consider making a Twitch account and go follow me on Twitch. Would very much love to be able to have you join us. Just as always, please be kind, obey the rules, and be respectful of me and everyone else in the chat. That goes a long, long way, and we need more respect and more kindness in the world, even in the world of the internet. I would dare say, especially in the world of the internet. But my dear friends, let's go ahead and try to knock out... I'd like to answer 2 questions from the comments section today. I know, crazy. Depends on how story-ish I get. Okay, so this is a good one. So this is one, it's not really the full and complete comment made by said person, because I think I went back and forth with them on YouTube here in the comment section, but their question was very good and I wanted to make sure that I asked it here on a video. So Destiny Captain 247 on YouTube, in his comment, he was noticing several interesting things in the Heck Backyard pool, their above ground pool. How it's there, how it's not there, different things that happened to it over the years, and then obviously there was the episode that was specific about the pool. Destiny Captain asks, what are some interesting experiences or stories that you have filming in said pool? So, I am very much now an honest person. For me, there's no reason to hide if something was a negative experience. I think that it's going to be useful in some form or fashion to always be honest. And hopefully, it doesn't burst the bubble of enjoyment for you guys being able to watch the show. This story should not. This is more of just kind of the reality check of it. So, what was unfortunate, but it's understandable because it is an insurance issue, is that we not only had the Heck Backyard pool, but we also on Blondie Street had what was the community pool. And I need to say that that community pool set that they had on Blondie Street was hands down one of the coolest things that they had built on Blondie Street. And this community pool was exceptionally featured in the 2nd episode of the show, where Brick has the Wheel of Naldoid book, and that just made me unlock a memory saying that book name. And he ends up getting freaked out by Sue, and he gets scared and tosses the book, and the book ends up floating down to the bottom of the pool. That pool is actually built in such a way where there are glass camera ports that are cut into the concrete in the pool. And what it allows is it allows camera operators, they actually have a cutout too that you can fit a camera operator in with a camera, and it allows them to be able to take shots from the inside of the pool. And it doesn't damage the equipment, it doesn't jeopardize the safety of the camera operator, and it's something that they're able to have and experience. And so that's how they were able to capture that shot. And I think there's several ports of that throughout that community pool set, when it was there, I should say. That community pool set was outstanding. They had a heating element, so you could always heat the water. I'm pretty sure the water was always, even in the winter, like 77 degrees. I would have loved the opportunity to have used that as my private pool for physical therapy when I was growing up. That would have been an amazing experience. But again, that would have been a huge insurance issue, so I understand why the studio did not allow that. They didn't allow it to be used recreationally, it had to be used for filming, and that's it. That set, I loved. The Heck Backyard above ground pool was literally just that. The Heck Backyard above ground pool. And what really bothered me is that the writers, remember that when we were filming, we would begin filming months prior to the season in the show. So a prime example, we would film from August of one year to March the next, and then we would have a hiatus. Well, what would end up happening is we'd be filming Indiana fall in August, which meant we were in parkas in 120 degree heat. And then we would be filming, like, Christmas episodes at Halloween, right? That was its own misery. And then the inverse of that would happen, because it would be closer to spring and summer in Indiana, but it would be midwinter or very, very, very infancy of spring out here. And it would still be cold enough to be miserable. Well, the genius writers who wrote that episode, he said sarcastically, decided it would be funny to stick Eden and I in that pool when it was 58 degrees outside and wearing a t-shirt and pants. And I don't think I've ever experienced that level of cold in my life, and I've been to Flagstaff in the winter. You know what I mean? That was where it was, like, painful. Physically painful to do that shot. Now, what they swore up and down to us is, oh, don't worry, we're gonna fill that little bit of water in the pool right before you film, and it's gonna be heated. That water wasn't heated. That water was 35 degrees. And, yeah, so when you watch that episode, know that we are in actual physical pain and miserable trying to film that scene. And the writers are back there with their hand warmers in their pockets in front of a heater with a cup of hot cocoa going, I wrote that. What are you talking about? I'm not jaded at all. I don't hold grudges. What's a chip on my shoulder? So yeah, I would classify that as interesting. I literally was hugging PA friend, trying to stay warm every time they yelled cut. It wasn't fun. Okay, flipping over to Positive Destiny, though. You would never have known that. Thank you very much for that question. I greatly appreciate you. I like being able to demystify the entertainment industry. Hopefully you all know how miserable it really is. I mean, challenging. It really can be. Next question, last one for today's episode, posed by Lore2323 on YouTube. What are daily practices you have that you never compromise that help keep you grounded? That's a really, really sweet question, and I'm very honored that you would bestow such a question onto me, Lore. Thank you very much for that. You know, the thing is I take such pleasure and such joy in the simple things in life. And this is true for my whole life, but especially as I get older, I've learned to appreciate them even more. And my mom is really the one who always kept me grounded, even in the midst of being in the business. And, excuse me, when you've gone through pain, physical pain, like I've gone through, like my mom has gone through and I've borne witness to, coupled with, you know, other challenges that we had, which were, including but not limited to, you know, bullying on set and all these other different things. Again, you can't help but learn the beauty of compassion, the beauty of kindness, the beauty of the simple, and how precious those things are. And especially, too, being on a soundstage for 10 years. It was longer than that, but for the middle specifically, it was 10 years. You're locked away in a form of prison, because it's the same thing day in and day out with no variance. And you know, my life was, my teenage years, my childhood years were just gone. The blessing is that we could make a show that I ended up being incredibly proud of, and still to this day is being appreciated, and memories are being made with multiple generations of families. That's incredible. That is truly beautiful. If it was a risque or a diminutive show of some sort, that would definitely be where it would be considered a waste. In this case, it is not, but it is difficult. So for me, inherently, to answer the question posed by Lore, inherently, I very much just appreciate the little things. Even now, I'm sitting in a parking lot here where thankfully they have a whole bunch of trees, and those trees are the kind of trees that will change color with the season. So I'm able to look out now, spending time with all of you guys on beautiful mixtures and hues of the light green to yellow to orange to brown and to red. And it's absolutely breathtaking. My mom loves to feed birds outside of our house, and to be able to listen to the wild birds sing their song all throughout the day. To be able to enjoy things like coffee that I get to make and experience with Mama Debbie, or even just enjoying some TV shows that we get to watch, or good food. You know, when you have the appreciation for the little things, and you're focused instead on what you have as opposed to what you don't have, it changes and unlocks everything. But as far as a daily practice is concerned, the number one most important thing any human being can do and make a discipline, a practice, a routine in their life is spending time with God. And it can be where if you have beautiful property and you're out on the property and you're watching sunrise or sunset, or you're looking at the wind going through your trees, or even if you're in a more urban setting and you have the opportunity where you get to look out on, you know, something that you appreciate in your town or your city or your neighborhood, from your front porch or your backyard, or it's quiet time inside the house in your cozy chair, you know, whatever it may be, take that time to spend time with God. And for me, he is a being with a personality. I'm always wanting to talk to him. I'm always wanting to have him be involved in everything that I do. But then additionally is taking time to read God's Word. And consistently, if ever there is a day where I do not read God's Word, for whatever reason, my day is significantly more challenging, and I am not grounded. I do not feel stable in my spirit to accomplish anything. But when I do take the time, even if it's just I'm reading one chapter, I've devoted 15 minutes to this, but I still take the time to do it, I conclude feeling nourished. And so reading from God's Word is always important to me. I say this all the time on stream because a lot of people will ask, where do I start? For me, my mom gave me immense wisdom and planted the seed in me where she said, start in the New Testament and read through it. Then you'll have Jesus in your heart. Go back to the Old Testament, read through it, and then go back to the New again and read through it. And I've literally just been doing that since I gave my life to Christ in 2013. And every single time, every day, there is a pertinent word either for me in the moment that I am in, for something that occurred earlier in the week, or something that ends up occurring later in the week. And it is such a blessing to be able to do that. My morning routine is I get to get up, feed and make sure and spend time with the pets, be able to spend time with Mom, and I'll cook us breakfast, and then we get to sit and have coffee and breakfast together, and then we play some Scrabble, which we absolutely adore. And then I take about 20 minutes or so after that, spend a little bit of time with the Lord, read, and then after that it's like, okay, what's mission objective for the day? I'm going to start planning this out. Mama Bear, let's plan this out together, and then we do it. So that would definitely be my chief practice. The other side of it too is definitely, I'm a person who adores music, which I've made mention of many times here. And there's just some times where if I'm doing a chore, or even just taking some time away to, wander around in my bedroom and listen to music for a good 15-20 minutes, or listen to music while I'm exercising, and just kind of feel different feelings from the songs that I like and the stories that they tell. That also, too, is very much a blessing for me. That is very much something that's healthy for my soul. that I enjoy. And then also too, like when Mom and I drive, or when I drive, and being able to listen to music and have that be on in the background as I drive is very much a blessing for me. It's really cool. Lore and Destiny Captain, thank you both very much for those outstanding questions that you guys posed today. My dear friends, tell me all your thoughts in the comment section below. Please be sure to hit the thumbs up button on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And please be sure to share this video on all your social media. I always love when we get to fellowship together, hang out, chat, and eat together, of course. My dear friends, I'm going to be heading back home now. Going to have some coffee and then get ready for one of my live streams. Hope to see you there, my dear friends. And my friends, I hope that this day, this weekend, and this whole new week ahead of you is blessed and full of goodness in every way. God bless you guys. Can't wait to see you all in the next one. Do widzenia.
I just want a great life, something where I feel like I just didn't waste time, something I look back and say that was a great time, cause man I just hate when the years pass by the wayside.